I don't worry about dying. Or rather, I don't worry about being dead. Because I won't know about it. That is the best thing about being dead. You don't know about it. It's the same as being stupid, right? It's only painful for others, right? I worry about how I die. I don't want to die alone in agony, or I don't want to be found in a wardrobe, hanging by a belt, wearing ladies' tights, covered in amyl nitrate. You know what I mean? I'm not into that shit. So if I am found like that, just know that one of my mates has stitched me up. All right? No, don't worry about dying. I don't do anything towards not dying, if you know what I mean. I eat and drink too much every day. I've done for 40 years. Day and night, I eat and drink too much. People say to me, Rick, if you gave up the booze, you live an extra 10 years. And I go, yeah, but they're the last 10 years. Oh, they're the shit 10 years. I don't want them, right? If I gave up booze now and I made it to 80, and someone said, right, you can have an extra 10 years. If I go, oh, great, I'll have 20 or 30. Okay, that would be perfect. But no, you got to have 80 to 90. Have you any idea how awful it is being 90? Like, I've seen 90-year-olds sitting in an armchair, and they suddenly go, and you go, what? You go, I've broken every bone in me body, right? Because they're brittle. They've got, like, dust for blood. They bruise up, blood clots. They got the hernias popping out everywhere, right? If you're 90 years old, and you get to the kitchen by yourself to make a cup of tea, if you lift that kettle and it's too full, there's a very good chance your stomach will come out of your asshole, right? So eat and drink as much as you want and just fucking die is my advice, right? I should say I'm not a doctor. Back inside. I do see a doctor once a year, once every 2 years. I've done medicals for things like this and TV shows, and I go private, right? It's 600 quid. It's 3 hours long, but they do everything. Blood sample, stool sample, urine sample, ECG, ear, nose, throat, bollocks, the finger, everything, right? And you have to fill out this big form and lifestyle thing that takes fucking ages, right? And I tell the truth on everything except units of alcohol. I work those out, then I halve them, right? And when he gets to those, he still goes, oh, that's an awful lot, right? And I think I've won. I go, is it? At the end of the 3 hours, they've got all the results back from the lab, right? And he's got this big computer. It's like a body composition. And from there, they work out your percentage chance of a stroke, heart attack in 1 year, 5 years, 10 years. And mine's always about the same. It always gets worse with age. Nothing you knew about that. But I'm always like, I'm at the end of a healthy weight. I'm just nearly obese. I'm just right, all like that. I was pre-diabetic once. I had to sort that out. And now I'm pre-gout. Right? Pre-gout. Right? And so he tells you all that, and then he goes, so what are we going to do about this? And I want to go, what do you mean, we? I'm just paying you 600 quid, mate. Right? You're going to fix it, and I'm going to carry on. Right? We don't take a car to the garage, and he goes, oh, tyres are bald, the big end's gone. What are we going to do? You're going to fix it, mate, and I'm going to pay you. And he went once and said, you need more fibre in your diet. I went to go, get me wine with fibre in it then. You know what I mean? I can afford anything. You must be able to arrange. He said you're heavily constipated. I wanted to go, get in there with a spoon, son. And then they always leave it right to the end. They don't even look up. They go, and can I give you a rectal exam? Which means I have to go, yes, please. I want to surprise me on the way out. Do you know what I mean? Bye. Oh, and that's fine. Thank you. Right? But there's a big build-up, right? And if they're washing their hands, they've got to say, would you like a chaperone? So you got your finger up my ass, and now you've got a mate watching. No, just do it. And they lay you on this bench, right, on your back to start with, like pants and trousers around your ankle, knees apart like a little frog, right? And they do the balls first, right? And I'm nervous, doctor, I'm really nervous, so I've got no balls, right? he has to dig them out like a tortoise's head. You know what I mean? It's just like a little fist of fear down there, right? It's, and I fucking hate it. I'm like, right? It's horrible, right? And then when they turn you on the side and lube me over the finger on the arse, that's great. You know, not great. That's not why I go. But it's me again. You were yesterday. Come on. But this one time, it was an old man, and he was still a doctor, not just an old. Doctor said he couldn't make it, so I thought I don't know, right? There was a sort of like old school GP, he's about 75, little shirt and tie, tweed jacket, right? And he was sitting on an armchair, right? And he didn't put me on the bench, I was just standing up. And he went, oh, just put your pants and trousers down, right? So he was a little lad, so he was like head height to my bullseye. And as I say, I'm nervous, doctor, so I jabber, I talk. I think if I put them off, they won't find the cancer. Know what I mean? All right? And so he started doing the balls, and I just went, oh, what are you looking for there exactly, right? And they usually go, and he didn't. He went, oh, that's a good question. And he sat back, and he started telling me all about cancer, right? So now I'm just having a chat, right? And he went on for ages. He seems loving it, right? And I remember it felt rude to do that. So I was going, all right. I do work out a bit. I actually joined a gym. Literally on my road, I discovered. I've got a gym in my house. I got bored with that. But I thought, if I join a gym, if I pay in advance, I pay a year in advance, then I'll try and get value for money, and that'll make me go. Then I remembered, oh, I'm fucking rich. It is, you know what I mean? I could join a different gym every day for a laugh. Just go along, go, there's £2,000. I go, see you tomorrow, you'll never see me again. And I go about once a month, and I sort of do 10 minutes on the machines, and I sort of run home like that, mate. I don't use the changing rooms there. I got a thing about changing rooms, public changing rooms. I always have I know, I'll tell you why. I know it's the same in ladies' changing rooms, but men are so proud of their offal, right? If I'm in a public place, I have a shower, like 1 minute, towel, corner, pants on, right? There's loads walking around naked before the shower, talking to each other, after the shower. There was one bloke in the shower, way too long, right? Ages, right? He got out, no towel, just dripping wet, just went up to the mirror and started doing his hair for us. I was in there there was just me and this really fat bloke once in the change. I was getting changed, and he was there, and he was really big, like 350 pounds, right? And he was naked on one of those precision scales. And he was there for fucking ages, and I was talking about he was that for ages. I went and go, mate, you're never going to be an astronaut, right? It doesn't need to be this accurate. Just pop some pants on and take a fucking gram off. But then I'm not having to go at fat people and say, I'm fat, I'm overweight. Do you know why? Because I eat and drink too much. That's what does it. I don't judge fat people, I just know how they got fat. If I see a fat person, I go, well done. You know, you've eaten way more than you'll ever need, same as me, right? If I see a fat couple, I go, yeah, that works, right? But then as they're walking along, right, and you see their little fat toddlers, and you go, that's not fair, right? And the mother always goes, they love cake. Of course they love cake. They're baby mammals. We're the same species as we were like 200,000 years ago. We've got a hunter-gatherer brain, right? All this affluence is so much faster than my human biology. So when you get one of those cakes from the supermarket that's packed with fats and sugar, your brain goes, fucking hell, that's amazing. Keep eating that. There might not be food tomorrow. But there will be food tomorrow. The fridge is full and your mum's on the phone to Ocado. You know what I mean? And now there's even a stigma. Like, doctors get in trouble for saying to someone you're overweight or obese. No, that's a political thing. No, it's like fat shaming. It's not fine. You don't get cancer shaming. He's trying to save your life, right? There was a school that tried to ban the word obese because they said it was derogatory to, I don't know what to call them, round children, right? But that's the polite word. That's the word we invented, so we didn't say fat little fucker. Don't key changing words because one person gets offended. Also, fat people aren't offended by the word obese. They did it all. They're happy with. They're jolly, aren't they? They're jolly. You know, you see a fat boy. Oh, if I eat you, yeah, yeah. They go to the doctor. Come in and bring them on. Doctor goes, fuck me. Oh. Am I obese? No, you're morbidly obese. What does that mean? It means you're gonna die of it. Oh, does it? Alright. What, straight away or? No. You've got diabetes, so you'll have your legs amputated soon, and then you'll die to carry on your diet later of like stroke and respiratory heart failure. So, all right. Is there anything I can do? Oh, yeah, of course there is. You could start working out and eat healthy and be right as rain. Oh, right. But you won't, will you? No. And I feel sorry for him, even though it's their fault. When you see one of those documentaries on telly, the 600-pound man or something, and he's being reached out of his house to go to hospital, right? If you're dangling from a crane, right? And you see a film crew, right? You know you fucked it. And then, you know, as I say, then they wake up next day and they've had their legs amputated. It's really sad, and they're crying, and I'm crying. They go, the way by they get of this. Oh, I'm so stupid. Then they get philosophical about it, and they go, I never really used the legs. So, then it's lunchtime, and so, you know, there goes the nurse. You didn't throw them legs away, did you? Guys, do you ever act more working class around builders? I do. I can be walking around Leafy Hampstead, right? Book of poems, scarf, just come in Brahms, right? And if some scaffolds go, Ricky, I go, oh, you can't say them, boys. And I did it, why I'm slightly impressed, though. But I've always been fascinated with human behavior, right? But as I said at the beginning, we're the only species that allows the universe to understand itself. But we see all nature through our eyes. So it all goes back to us. Why are we here? What makes us? Is it our genetics or the environment? The old nature versus nurture argument. The psychologist Piaget was once asked, what's more important for the intellect of a person, nature or nurture? And he famously replied, what's more important for the area of a field, length or width? Alright, mate, if you don't know the answer, just fucking... But psychology, psychiatry, neuroscience, it's still in its infancy. And we still know so little about the brain. And 150 years ago, we knew nothing. It was all guesswork, right? And, everything was just mental. If you want a white, sort of heterosexual, married Christian man, right? If you deviated too far, you're mental. This is what mental, like homosexuality, mental illness, you're put in an asylum for life, or worse, tortured. Women who fell pregnant out of wedlock, mental, asylum for life, right? And now we understand things more. We're more tolerant. I think it's going too far the other way, because now nothing's mental. You can't find somewhere that nothing is considered mental. Everything is a syndrome or an addiction or a preference, right? I could have my legs removed, have wheels put on, identify as a pram, right? And if you say I'm mental, you're a bigot, right? Now, that's a bit hack, that joke, now, isn't it? Oh, I identify as a thing then, right? It's a bit old-fashioned, right? But I'm going to leave it in to annoy people, right? Because that's the bit that'll offend people. Same as humanity. I talk about AIDS, famine, cancer, the Holocaust, rape, paedophilia. But no, the one thing you mustn't joke about is identity politics. The one thing you should never joke about is the trans issue, right? They just want to be treated equally. I agree. That's why I include them. You know... But they know all joking about all the other stuff, but they go, no, he must mean that. Like a joke is a window to the comedian's true soul. That's just not the case. I'll take on any view to make the joke funniest. I'll pretend to be right-wing. I'll pretend to be left-wing. I'll pretend to be clever. I'll pretend to be stupid. Whatever makes the joke funny without prejudice. Okay, full disclosure, in real life, of course I support trans rights. I support all human rights, and trans rights are human rights, you know? Live your best life. Use your preferred pronouns. Be the gender that you feel that you are. But meet me halfway, ladies. Lose the cock. That's all I'm saying. That's what... And it's mad to think joking about stuff means you're anti it. Like, I made a joke about self-ID, but in fact, I wish self-ID had been around when I was a kid. I'd have used it to get shit. I'd have gone to my mum, I'm trans. She'd have gone, what? I'd gone, I'm either trans or I need a new bike. She'd have gone, you need a new bike. I'd have gone, you're the boss. But I grew up in the 60s, Jesus. I had like Victorian parents, we hadn't heard of any of this. But what if I was a teenager now, in these really woke, progressive times, and I had really cool hippie parents, right? And I went, mother, father, I'm trans. They'd go, oh goody, that's so fucking trendy, right? And my dad would go, Bagsy, I picked the vagina. I go, second, don't you? Right? Then there'd be like a montage, right? And I'd go down, I'd have all the electrolysis, I'd bring my hair, right? And I'm a big fan, like, no, if someone else is paying, I'll have a big one, you know what I mean? Like, dad trying to buy me my minge, fuck you, dad, right? I'm a big fanny, boobs, right? And, right? No, and I'd come out and I'd be a real woman, I'd be Ricky Gervais, right? Yeah, and I'd be a real woman, right? And, he can't change his sexuality, so I find women attractive, so I'd be a lesbian. I'd be a little lesbian fella called Ricky Gervais, right? And probably be a butch lesbian because of all the testosterone up till then, right? Also, I like the fashion, jeans, black t-shirt, short hair, beard. I'd be a real lesbian called Ricky Gervais, lesbian about town, right? And so I'd go down to Brighton, right? And I'd go into a lesbian bar, right? I'd go, hi, pool table, winner stays on. I'd be there all fucking night now. Alright. This joke isn't working for the punchline. The punchline is shit, merely. So just enjoy the journey, right? You right. So I'd look around and I'd find one of them pretty lesbians, right? This is so childish and misinformed. It hurts. Right, I'm gonna leave it in though. Right, so no, I find a pretty lesbian. This is pathetic, right? Even for me, I can't do this to the fucking stray fatties. Right. And I'd go, I go, hi, you a lesbian? She'd go, yeah. Are you a lesbian? I go, yeah, just a bit. Look at that, right? And she go, that is a lovely fanny. I go, fucking cost enough. She go, watermelon, right? And then I'd be wooing her, right? I'd be doing all of that, like I'd be sort of like compliment her around sort of lesy ways. I'd go, I love you, don't mind. It's like, she go, oh, thanks, right? Right? She goes, I go, oh, there's big earrings, aren't they? Right? So, yeah, right. And then she goes, do you want to come back to my place and les off? I go, yeah, just a bit, right? So we go back, we get naked, I'd boob her up. I don't know why I'd minge her off. I'd do that one. I'd do that one. Definitely do that one, right? I'd Google it, wouldn't I? I'd fucking Google it, right? And and then she'd go, oh, do you want to wear a strap-on dildo and give me a good seeing to? I go, yeah, right. So I put a strap on, I put the big dildo there on my new fanny, right, and tie it at the back. And that's when I kick myself. I told you you're shit, dude. Oh, God. But one thing that isn't ambiguous, whether it's nature or nurture, is racism, right? No one's born racist. You've got to learn that shit, okay? And, again, I don't want to divide the room. I'm not a fan of racism. No, hear me out. I don't care whether you're black, white, brown, European, African. You're also white, Rick. Black, white, brown, European, African. What about the fucking Eskimos? Racist, right? They're fucking weird, Rick. They are not weird. They're just different. They live in the snow. Yeah, that is their little house, the snow. So, yeah, they wear a dead sea lion for their. Yes, that's their clothes, the dead sea lion. Right? But here's the thing about racism, right? You drag one out of his little hole in the snow and peel him out of his sea lion outfit, right? And he's standing there naked. You take a closer look. He's basically a cold Chinaman. I know you can't say Chinaman anymore. I can't believe you ever could, because that is the laziest labeling of a demographic I've ever heard. So the first one lands on our shores, and we gather around, go, "What the fuck? Where you from, mate?" And he goes, "China," and we go, "Oh, you're a Chinaman." And he goes, "I'm a what? You a Chinaman?" "A Chinaman? Yeah. What's my wife?" "Duh, Lady Chinaman." "Why don't you call me by my name?" "I don't know your name, do I?" "It's Ling." "Ling? Yeah. Is that your first name or your surname?" "Both." "Ling Ling? Hey, Rao?" "Right, no, right. Right." Remember irony, okay? Also, that's not me saying that, is it? It's a little Chinaman. Isn't it? A sec. You pity, he's alright with it. That won't mean. Right, okay. Fucking hell, have I got anything for this fucking special? Oh, this is alright. Bye. Did anyone have a pedo teacher when I was at school? Yes, yeah. Round of applause for pedo teachers, yeah. Fuck here now. Unbelievable. That's another thing. I think whereas people are now trying to be so politically correct, they're trying to out-woke each other. Soon someone's going to say, you can't say pedo anymore. It's a derogatory term. It offends people who are child addicted. Right? So you're going to have people going to the doctor going, "Doctor, I think I'm child addicted." Right? And the doctor go, "Oh, you poor thing. How do you feel?" "I thought I want to fiddle with kids." That is one of the symptoms. Don't worry, sit down. We'll get you into a facility at taxpayers' expense, right? And we'll wean you off children. How does that work, doctor? Well, you know like when they give heroin addicts methadone? Yeah. Well, we're going to start you on dwarfs, right? Keep in my work. In my work. How does that work, Doc? Well, let me think. I haven't thought it through. Right, okay, no. So, what you do is we've hired loads of dwarves, right? And we're not open during the Panthers. He said we can't get a star, right? So you come in February to November, right? And we've hired loads of dwarves, right? And we've dressed them up as school children, right? And they just run around the campus, right? Run around like that. It's a free-range dwarves. Oh no, free-range dwarves, right? And they look like they're about 6 years old, right? But they're not. They're above legal age, so you're not breaking the law. And they've been paid, so it's consensual. And you just go to one you fancy, pull down his little trousers. Then is it, "Hey, doctor, I said I was a pedo. I didn't say I was gay," right? You did this about homophobia in the sort of paedophile community. Like, one paedophile, he's all smug, he's heterosexual. He's abducting a little girl, right? He's sending a little girl into the forest. And he looks over and he sees another pedo with a little boy. And he goes, "You fucking Ben Duck." There's a London borough that tried to ban registered paedophiles living within 1 mile of a school. Now, say what you will about pedos, but they're not lazy. No. A lot of them are bus drivers. That's nothing. You know. So this pedo teacher, right, true story this, it was about 1976, so I was about 14, and looking back, I feel a bit sorry for him, because he was probably late 20s, and there was he was like a nervous sort of guy, and it was obviously gay, and he had a fling with one of the older boys, who might have been 16, 17, so now would have been totally legal, but then technically a nonce, famished, convicted, never heard of again, big scandal, right? And when it broke, I went home that day. My mum was there, and she went, "Did he touch you?" And I went, "No." She went, "You sure?" I went, "Yeah." She went, "He couldn't have fancied you then." So now, my mum is winding me up about me not being attractive enough to be sexually abused. What if I'd have got a complex? What if I thought, well, I'll show her? Right? I'll come in at midnight. Where you been? Sucking up bus drivers. That's what you get. But that was typical of my mum. My mum, she was the soul of the earth, but she just said what she wanted, right? And she'd do anything for you, but she reserved the right to moan about it. So, growing up, our next door neighbour, Mrs. Dawson, she was about 25 years older than my mum. So when my mum was 60, this old lady was already like 85, 86, and my mum was the last living witness to her existence. She lives alone, and my mum did everything for her. She went shopping for us, did the housework, she went round, made her lunch, and sat with everyone. She went back, made her tea, and this went on and on. I remember calling home once. My mum was like 70, and I went, "Oh, I called her, and you were out." My mum went, "Yeah, I was in Dawson's," and I went, "Oh, how is she?" And my mum went, "She just won't die, Rick." I have very fond memories of growing up in Reading, which is why I never go back. But wherever I am in the world, I always bump into someone from Reading. They go, "I'm a Reading boy." I go, "Oh, good, that should be enough." But it never is. They always want more. They said he's like, "Oh yeah, you know Norman Taylor, don't you?" I go, "I never know this person." I go, "Oh no, yeah, he knows you." "Yeah, I'm on the telly, mate." "You went to Ashreed School, didn't you?" I went, yeah. He knows Pete Shepard. Oh, when was he there? 1993. Yeah, I was 31, mate. I was 30. He knows you. Has he got a telly? Yeah. That's what's happened there. But I do like old stories, and I didn't tell showbiz stories. They're boring to me. I like real stories, and whenever I'm working up a tour, I try and think of things that's happened to me and how my life's changed. And I thought of one for this tour, and it was hugging. No one's been hugging for the last couple of years, which I preferred. I liked that. I never liked hugging. I liked when you couldn't hug. I always felt awkward. I never know when to. I didn't hug anyone growing up. I didn't hug anyone until I came to London. People, like a working class kid on an estate in Reading, you don't hug people. You don't hug your fucking dad or your granddad or your brother. You wind them up. You take the piss. That's our hug. Right? I'll give you an example. We were at our dad's funeral, and I was out in the graveyard with my brother Bob. Right? Bob was having a cigarette. Right? And our Uncle Mike came along. We hadn't seen Mike for like 25 years. Last time we saw him was like 50, and now he's like 75. He hadn't aged well. He was an old man, right? And he came up to us and he went, "Hello, boys." And Bob sort of looked at him and recognised him and went, "Fuck me." Well, that way. And then Bob looked around the graveyard and went, "Is there any point you going home?" Right? And Uncle Mike laughed and went, "Always nice to see you, Bobby." Like that. And that was their hug. You know what I mean? I'll give you another example. When I left school, my best mate was a boy called Mark, right? We never did together. We took a year out before we went to college to earn money to get pissed, really. And we did. It was the best summer ever. And but then something happened. His grandmother died, and he lived with her, so it was a big deal. And he went to the funeral, and the first place he came up from here was my house. He sat down in his little black suit, and it was just, I didn't know what to say. No hugging, right? So I just went, "How was it?" He went, "It was awful." I said, "She was cremated," and we went outside to watch the smoke go up, and the wind changed, and it all blew in our faces, right? And I went, "What, in your mouth?" And he went, "Yeah." I went, I took a chance. I said, "Did it taste bitter?" And he went, "Yeah." I went, "That was her clitoris." Right? And Mark just went, fucking hell, Rick. All right. And then he sighed laughing. And we both, and that was our hug. You know what I mean? Oh. I'll leave you with one final story. It's another true story. If I say they're true, by the way, they are. I promise, they're all true. And my favourite are the school stories, and this is probably my favourite school story ever. It was 1976 again, so about 14. And we had a kid in our class called Gary Masterman. And Gary developed Tourette's syndrome. Like, had he said to the swear word, and yet he had a tick. Because we learned all about it in assembly. Gary was up there. All the teachers know him. All the kids know him. He was a popular lad, right? And, nice guy, Gary Masterman. But sometimes his ticks seemed relevant. And I'll never forget, we were having this lesson with a young female teacher called Miss Wilkie, right? And she was at the blackboard, and she was doing those calling out suggestions. I can't remember what it was about, but she'd go, Simon, what do you think? Yeah, that's good. Yes, that works, yeah. Brian, what do you... Yeah, good, yeah. And she went, Gary, you went, I think you, miss. And she's went, anyone else? And she pointed to Sean Dixon, and Sean went, yeah, I think you. You were amazing. Good night.